Alright, Bob, so this week Ryan Reynolds announced that Hugh Jackman will be returning as Wolverine for Deadpool 3. And like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, ah! And yes, I genuinely did go down into the kitchen to get 3 knives to pretend they're the adamantium claws because, I mean, Hugh Jackman's back as Wolverine. I don't care if this makes me look like a dork because, like, this is, like, one of the best news things I've heard all year. Deadpool 3 has now jumped into either the number 1 or number 2 position of my most anticipated MCU projects just because I'm excited as hell for Daredevil Born Again. But I mean, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in a Deadpool film, like, what is not to love there? Like, how could this go wrong? I'm not even joking when I said that I had tears in my eyes when I was watching the announcement video. Like, I started to genuinely tear up. I was so happy, so excited. And it's like, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine means so much to me. He means so much to everybody in the, geeky sphere because he's just amazing as that character. He is one of, if not the greatest comic book castings of all time. He's definitely in the god tier list because he's just him along with Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, Charlie Cox as Daredevil. They are like the gold standard god tier casting in a comic book superhero project, and just seeing him back, that's gonna be amazing. Like, in my heart of hearts, I kind of suspected that this was what Deadpool 3 was going to be about, especially since in the post-credit scene for Deadpool 2, there's the bit where Wade is just like, hey, there's a part where in the future, if your old pal Wade says to, get back on the saddle again, say yes. And so you're kind of just like, oh, were they teasing that, maybe one day he will be back? And then, just finally seeing it confirmed, you're just like, oh my god, like, what happened here? Are we living in, like, the best timeline? I mean, everything to do with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, their friendship, their fake social media feud is just amazing, and just, seeing that type of energy on screen with the two of them as Deadpool and Wolverine is just, it's gonna be so good. I mean, one of the main concerns I've been hearing on the internet is that bringing back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is going to undo the ending to Logan, and it's like gonna ruin Logan in a way. No. Logan's its own thing. Logan is an absolutely hauntingly beautiful film, and it will always remain as that. It will always remain as the send-off to Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Like, for example, when I saw Professor X in Doctor Strange 2, I didn't go, oh, this ruins the ending to Logan, this is bad, No, it was fine. Like, to me, Logan still exists, and it doesn't take away from the death of Professor X from Logan, because him showing him in Doctor Strange 2 didn't really matter. And the thing is, too, is that Hugh coming back in Deadpool 3, I think won't undermine his death in Logan, because, if anything, I think it's gonna add to it. Like, I can definitely imagine a scene where, say, like, Wade and Logan, they're just talking, and, like, there's a portal behind him, and Wade's just like, oh, Logan, I just wanted to say thank you for all, like, the years of service that you have been playing as this character, Hugh Jackman, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can definitely imagine this being a scene, kind of similar to, like, how, like, in the Deadpool films, where, like, Wade will be, like, jokey, but also sincere at the same time, or whatever. Like, I can imagine this being a scene where, like, Wade is pouring his heart out to Logan, and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think it's gonna take away from it. In fact, I think it's gonna kind of make us feel very sad that, yeah, this will probably be one of the last times we see Hugh as Wolverine. And I also think us seeing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in Deadpool 3 won't detract from the eventual casting of the MCU version of Wolverine, because it's Hugh Jackman. Like, we all know that this is, like, one of his last couple of times he's gonna play this character. But at the end of the day, when the MCU decides to reboot and do their own Wolverine, I don't think Hugh Jackman's appearance in Deadpool 3 will take away from that. That being said, though, I do not think Deadpool 3 will be Hugh Jackman's last performance as Wolverine, because I have a sneaking suspicion that he's also signed on to be in Avengers Secret Wars, because, I mean, it just kind of makes sense. Like, that film is the film where you can go balls to the walls insane with cameos. You can bring in old actors from previous franchises. You can bring in, like, everything all together into this one massive film. And I can kind of see it happening, especially since, if they decide to bring back the classic superhero actors of the early 2000s, they bring in, say, the Fantastic Four cast from the early 2000s films, Ian Griffith, Chris Evans, Jessica Alba, Michael Chiklis, and they bring in, say, Tobey Maguire. And, like, I could imagine Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine meeting, and that in itself would be insane, and like, that's the thing. I'm not gonna, like, say for definite it's going to happen, but, like, I have a feeling that it's just, like, it's going to happen. Like, could you just imagine Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker meeting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? Like, that's That would be insane to me. I also think that it's going to be a given that Hugh Jackman is probably going to wear some iteration of the yellow Wolverine costume in this film, whether it be the design they teased in the deleted scene from the Wolverine, or just an MCU version of the classic Wolverine costume in some way, whether it be the yellow and black, the yellow and blue, or the yellow and burgundy, like some way, shape, or form. He will wear the classic costume because, I mean, it's a Deadpool film, and those films tend to go more comic accurate with their designs, but also, like, you can't have Hugh Jackman come back for, like, one last proper time and not have him wear the costume. But yeah, just to wrap things up, this has probably been, like, the announcement that has got me the most hype throughout the entire year. You know, the Comic-Con announcements were cool, the D23 announcements were pretty lame, but at the end of the day, you know, them announcing Daredevil Born Again was exciting. But this was the one where I was like, yes, okay, I'm sold. Deadpool 3 is going to be amazing. It's directed by Sean Levy, who directed a bunch of episodes of Stranger Things, which I'm currently working my way through right now. He also directed The Adam Project, and I really enjoyed that film too, so he and Ryan Reynolds definitely have a good rapport, and just, this is gonna be good. I can just imagine this being a really great film in a way. Like, the Deadpool films are great. I think I prefer Deadpool 2 to Deadpool 1, but it's been a while since I've seen them both. But then bringing Wolverine into Deadpool 3, like, every nerdy fanboy's wet dream, like, yeah. This movie is most likely going to be the best one, and it's definitely going to blow up the box office because, I mean, it's Wolverine and Deadpool, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds in a film together. Yes. But those are my thoughts on Hugh Jackman returning in Deadpool 3 because, I mean, just, this is just the best news anyone could hear. But what do you guys think about the news? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media, all that good stuff. And until we meet again, I'll see you guys next time.